when you're selling them food grade lubricants, you're offering them a piece to a risk management solution. And that's the way that I'd like you to think in terms of lubricants, food grade lubricants, and how do they help your customers mitigate hazard control in their facilities. The retailer driven ones, the regulatory driver ones. Let's talk a little bit about risk management. And I always like to walk through actual scenarios, because if there's anything we can do, it's to learn from the mistakes or the mishaps of others. I don't know if any of you recall this Perrier incident that happened back in the 1990s, but this is, to me, is a really interesting case study, and as a food company, you know, what you can do wrong. There was an environmental lab here in the United States, sort of a group of students in a research group that was doing some environmental water testing. And instead of purchasing expensive pure water standards, what they did was they'd go and pull Perrier water off the grocery store shelf, because they knew it was very high quality, very pure, obviously for drinking water. What they found when they started using this as their control sample was levels of benzene. Benzene is a well-known carcinogen, cancer-causing agent, mutagen, and after checking and rechecking, even though these were considered low levels of benzene, the level of benzene was really not the issue. They're fairly low as far as FDA standards are concerned. However, there was benzene in the product. So Perrier got involved, and after some initial checking, Perrier made an announcement that this was related to a cleaning product that they were using in some bottling facilities. And those particular bottles were shipped only to the United States, only to North America. So they put that statement out there. They felt they'd identified the source, pretty sure about it. Media got a hold of it, announced that. Everything was good, except the next day a lab turned up contaminated samples in Europe, and then a lab turned up contaminated samples in South America. And then there was this frenzy, this absolute media frenzy. Come to find out, after additional few days of checking, the source of the contamination was actually at the esteemed Perrier source spring. Benzene is a naturally occurring compound. It is found in drinking water on its own. The issue was with changing the filters at the source. They had not had a regimented changeover system, so the benzene had accumulated in the filters and had started to leach back out into their finished product, was in the bottles. It had nothing to do with the cleaning compounds. The point to all of this is that they didn't know, and they couldn't definitively say. They didn't have a good plan in place. They couldn't say, well, we have cleaners and processing aids. We have things that have been pre-approved, and so we don't have to worry about that. That was not their approach, and if this can happen to Perrier, it can happen to any company. At this point in time, this was the most trusted brand. Bottled water in the 1990s was not what it is today, where it's really a commodity. Today you go and you buy your 24-pack for $5 and you're good to go. This was something premium. This was something that made consumers feel good. It was a nice glass bottle. It was a very, very important brand identity that they barely survived. They are not the brand today that they were then because of this one incident.